This is CBC Vancouver News.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Ride-hailing is not coming to BC, at least not yet. The province announced today services like Uber and Lyft won't be on the streets until late 2019, a decision that's prompted some backlash and disappointment. Our Tina Lovegreen has tonight's top story.
Catching a cab in Vancouver at peak times can be challenging. So there has been a growing demand to see ride-hailing companies hit the streets. And today the government announced it will allow for it, but it likely won't happen until September 2019.
By this full session, as promised by the Premier, we'll be bringing in legislation which will allow ride-hailing companies to start to apply.
Transportation Minister Claire Trevena said it wants to protect the safety of drivers and passengers. Plus, it wants to make sure taxi companies aren't negatively impacted.
We wanted to make sure we're adding, not taking away from good local jobs.
The government says it will increase the number of taxis on the road immediately by 15%. 300 more taxis for the Lower Mainland and 200 for the rest of the province. It will also allow taxis to offer discount rates when trips are booked through an app. The taxi industry has long been against ride-hailing, saying it will hurt their business. We tried to get a response from the Vancouver Taxi Association, but no one was available by the time we went to air. Ride-sharing advocates say the timeline is a letdown.
I think the government's taking a cautious approach.
And consumers say they're tired of waiting.
We're usually behind on things, and it's kind of typical Vancouver in that sense. But, I mean, the sooner it comes, the sooner it benefits all of us, really.
Ride-hailing companies like Uber and Lyft are also disappointed and say it could have all happened much sooner.
Ride-sharing can absolutely come to British Columbia more quickly than what was announced today. And Uber stands committed to working with Premier Horgan and Minister Trevena and the entire BC government to make that happen.
The NDP government's election promise was to bring ride-hailing to BC by last Christmas. And when that didn't happen, it said it would bring it this year. And now it won't happen for at least another year. Tina Lovegreen, CBC News, Vancouver.